Serious. This app will pay you $50 for your life. Imagine a world where a single app claims to be able to prove your humanity, store your digital assets, provide a basic income, and open access to a range of social and financial services. This is the promise of World App, the official crypto wallet of the WorldCoin project initiated by Tools for Humanity, with OpenAI founder Sam Altman as one of its key figures. Is this promise of global financial inclusion too good to be true? Let's dig deeper. World App claims to have noble goals: global financial inclusion, universal digital identity, and a fairer financial system. To achieve this, they use World ID, a digital identity obtained through iris scanning using a device called Orb. This biometric technology produces a unique digital ID that is claimed to be anonymous and only serves for human verification. However, a fundamental question arises. Why biometrics? Why should identity be tied to the human body? Risk analysis shows the huge potential for misuse of biometric data. Iris data, once leaked or misused, cannot be replaced. This is not just data, it is our biological identity. World App is not just a crypto wallet, it is part of a universal basic income vision, where every verified individual will receive WorldCoin tokens periodically, regardless of social status, citizenship, or background. It sounds idealistic, but the public debate that has emerged highlights the potential dangers of centralization of power. Imagine access to money and public services only through one centralized application. What happens if your access is blocked for breaking certain rules? Is this financial inclusion or the beginning of a hidden mass surveillance system? Countries like Kenya and Germany have launched investigations into WorldCoin, concerned about the misuse of biometric data, lack of transparency, and privacy violations. Conspiracy theories have begun to emerge. Some see the World App as the first step towards implementing a global surveillance system known as the Great Reset. Promoted by the World Economic Forum, the idea aims to reshape the world economy post-pandemic, including the use of global digital identities, the elimination of cash, and full transaction surveillance. Journalistic investigation shows that World App is very suitable as a tool to implement the vision. World ID as a global identity, WLD token as digital money, and World App as a single gateway. Some religious figures and eschatology researchers even associate World App with the prophecy of the Book of Revelation about the time of the Antichrist, where no one can buy or sell without a certain sign. In Revelation 13, it is written that a time will come when no one will be able to buy or sell without a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. Many believe that the mark is a metaphor for a global digital identity system that controls all human economic activity. Today, iris scanning is an early form of merging human biological identity with digital systems. Beware. Today it is the iris, tomorrow it may be the fingerprint, then the face, and finally the chip under the skin for security and efficiency reasons. If all transactions, services, and access to life depend on a single digital ID managed by a global system, then with a single button, a person can be removed from the system and no longer be able to live normally. This is the greatest fear. The technology that promises inclusion is instead opening the door to absolute surveillance. Human freedom is slowly being sacrificed for convenience and efficiency. We must ask more seriously. Is the World App a major step towards a just and equitable future? Or is it a tool for creating a new world order where individual freedom is an illusion? The world is changing rapidly, and technologies like World App play a vital role in it. But before we hand over all our data and access to one system, we need to make sure that it doesn't become a digital chain that binds us without us even realizing it. Otherwise, we may be facing a future where our identities no longer belong to us, but to a global system that we can't fight. World App is not just about storing crypto or receiving universal basic income. It is about control. Control over our identities, access, and even our lives. Imagine a scenario where a government or corporation has access to your iris data. They can track your whereabouts, monitor your health, and even predict your behavior. The potential for misuse of this data is terrifying. Iris data can be used for discrimination, manipulation, and even oppression. If you disagree with government policy, your access to public services can be blocked. If you have a poor health history, you may be denied insurance or employment. The key question to answer is, who is responsible for your biometric data? WorldCoin claims that your iris data is encrypted and stored securely. However, how can we be sure that the data will not be leaked or misused? What if WorldCoin is hacked or acquired by an irresponsible company? We need an open debate about ownership and control over our biometric data. Are we willing to hand over this data to private companies in the name of a universal basic income? Or should we demand strict regulation to protect our privacy and freedom? Further investigation is needed to understand the long-term impact of world apps on society. How will world apps affect economic inequality? Will world apps strengthen or weaken democracy? How will world apps affect our social relationships? We need to consider all the potential consequences before we accept World App as a solution to financial inclusion. We need to ensure that this technology is used to empower people, not to control them. Our future may be at the tip of our fingers, but before we hand over our identities to digital systems, we need to be critical and alert. We need to understand the risks and benefits of this technology. We need to make sure we have control over our data. And we need to demand accountability from the companies and governments that collect and use our biometric data. Don't let yourself be lulled by sweet promises of financial inclusion. Consider all the consequences before you scan your iris. The future of our freedom may depend on the decisions we make today. Share this video with your friends and family. If you like this kind of content, please support by liking and subscribing to this channel. And always remember to protect your privacy and freedom. The future is in your hands.